everybody. We are now starting our new unit on trigonometry. Now I am going to do some of the lesson and hopefully you will take notes or take pictures at least of the notes and the important things you need to know. And then I'm also going to attach the video that goes along with the workbook from the author of this workbook. And I'm going to attach the classwork and the homework. I will expect you to be uploading the homework each day. So you watch the video, you do the classwork, do the homework, upload it. You should be done in less time than we spent in class. And if there's questions or concerns, you gotta email me right away so that they don't fester. All right, so we're starting the trigonometry unit. All right, so trigonometry is all about circles and angles. Now, the first most important thing, when you talk about a circle, we say a circle is 360 degrees. Also, if we were to divide this circle in half, this would be 0 degrees because this is where I'm starting my rotation from. And if I am rotating in a positive rotation, that means I'm going counterclockwise. So positive rotation halfway brings me to 180 degrees. Now, sometimes I don't want to go halfway. Sometimes I would only go 1/4 of the way. So if I rotated positive 1/4 of the way, here I am at 90 degrees, then another quarter brings me to 180, another quarter brings me to 270 degrees, and then I am back at 0 degrees or 360 degrees, one full rotation. Again, rotations are counterclockwise. So positive rotations are counterclockwise. Or I like to abbreviate it as CCW. If I were to rotate negatively, then that would be a clockwise. So say I start at 0. Now starting at 0 is what we call standard position. And if I start at standard position and I rotate negative 90 degrees, I land at 270. And if I rotate another negative 180, and 180 are one and the same. If I rotate all the way around to negative 270, I'm at the same as 90. And negative 360 lands me back at 0. So, real important, let's write down the negative rotation. Are clockwise, which I call CW, just in case in the future I have to write that down. That will be the abbreviation. And if you are an angle that lands on the border of a quadrant, 90 degrees lands on the border of 0 to the end of quadrant 1. 180 is from the border of quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. 270 comes from 180 to 270, and that then from the quadrant 4, 270 to 0 or 270 to 360, that would be another pair of quadrant angles, and we call those quadrantal angles. Let's write that down, quadrantal. Quadrantal angles are the 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 360 degree angles on the quadrant. So I want to erase this for a minute, and I'm going to draw it again because there's a few other things that I want to write down for you. So I'm going to just get rid of this part here in the middle. And we're going to talk about a couple of other really important things with these angles. The first thing, when I go back, this is the x-axis, the y-axis, negative x, negative y. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. The reason that we label our quadrants counterclockwise again is because positive rotations are counterclockwise. So if I were to show an angle, if I wanted to draw a 150-degree angle, I would start here at the 0 degrees in standard position. 150 goes beyond the 90 degrees, but it doesn't quite hit the 180 degrees. It might stop here. So here, looking at the way the arrow is going, is telling me a positive angle. This is a positive 150-degree angle. It terminates in quadrant 2. So 150-degree angle, let's write that. It terminates in quadrant 2. It is, so this would actually be called the terminal side of the angle. Let me write that down before I move on. Terminal side of the angle. And this is where terminal means end. So the angle began in standard position and it ended here. So if you drew it, this could be the whole angle, the x-axis you're using to start. There's your terminal side. Now, this angle is coterminal. So let's write down coterminal . Coterminal angles land at the same place. So if I were here at 0 and I went negative 90, negative 180, I would have to go 3 more. This would be negative 210 degrees. A 150-degree angle is coterminal with negative 210 degrees because they both land in the same place. Now, another way that we can talk about coterminal angles, and I just want to now get rid of this, another way we can talk about coterminal angles is we're more than one full rotation. Let's say I wanted you to draw a 410-degree angle. Well, if I start with my set of axes, and here's 0, here's 90, here's 180, and 270, back to 360, you're going to notice that every problem we do, you should label. If I wanted to draw positive 410, I went positive 360. I still didn't hit 410. So now if I come over here, I'm going to think or use my calculator, and I'm going to say, all right, 410 minus 360 is a 50-degree angle. I have 50 degrees left. That means somewhere between 0 and 90, I'm going to go 50 degrees more. And this terminates in quadrant 1. And in quadrant 1, it was a 50-degree angle. So coterminal with 410 is also 50 degrees. So 410 is going to equal the 50 degrees because coterminal. The two angles terminate in the same location. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is now watch the video that the author of this workbook put up. He goes into a little bit more with the worksheet. I've attached the worksheet. You know, like I said to you before, you should just open it and do the work in your notebook because that's a lot of ink. Like, that's a crazy amount of ink to print everything out. So you can follow along with him. You can do the work in your notebook as if you were just taking notes. You can then, when you get to the homework page, which is here, the fluency, you're going to be drawing me some angles. So I'm going to ask you to do 1 to 6. If you can figure out number 7, the reasoning, that would be great. But your homework is 1 to 6. Try your best. Draw the pictures and then just take a picture of your notebook. All right? And hopefully everything will go good. Email me right away if there's a question. Good luck.